today on Divorce Court.
Alphonso needs to stop being so rigid and controlling.
I was upfront with Terry about my position on my girlfriend having male friends. It has to end.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman having male friends. Alphonso is fixated on a call I received from someone who isn't even an ex, and he really needs to let it go.
I want the judge to help Terry understand that it's not about the phone call, it's about trusting her word.
I want the judge to tell Alphonso to get past that phone call because our relationship could be great if he could just trust me.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Terry Crosby and Alphonso Dunbar. The two of you have been together for 1.5 years and you have no children together. You are here because there is a rocky road that you are traversing in your relationship and you would like to smooth it out. So you've come here to ask for my advice. Ms. Crosby, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're here today?
We met online on a chat line. We talked for about 8 hours during our first phone conversation. We had a lot in common and a lot to talk about. During that phone call, Alphonso shared with me that he didn't want his woman to have any male friends.
During the first phone call?
Yes.
The first conversation, you were talking about the parameters of the relationship?
Well, it was like 8 hours later. So it felt more like...
whole 8. Okay, go ahead.
I met him in person a week later on February 13th. And we had a great date, I thought. And during that date, I asked about exclusivity because it was...
During your first date?
Yes, during our first date. Yes. Yes, I did. I had talked to him all week, every day, from the time I got off of work at 5 p.m. until after midnight, 7 hours a day on average. We talked about everything.
Too soon.
I understand.
You know what I mean? I don't care how long your conversations were, how good they were.
Yes.
Too soon. Were you alarmed by the fact that the woman that you had just met is seeking exclusivity with you immediately?
I didn't really know what to think because it was early.
Right.
However, it didn't scare me away or anything.
You just thought it was odd.
I just thought it was odd. It was a few things that happened that was odd. Early on. That was early.
What happened? What other things happened that were odd?
The fact that she shared some personal information with me early.
That you thought was too soon.
Yes, and
too personal, too soon.
Right, and I didn't understand why she did that. But again, like she said, we talked.
I'd like to know what personal information.
I like her password for her phone.
In the first conversation, you gave him
the first date. Right.
You gave him the password to your phone.
It wasn't exactly like that.
Well, exactly how was it?
The conversation, I just told him that I was ready for a committed relationship and I had nothing to hide. And I just made a comment like...
You can have the password on my phone if you want to.
Well, that's not exactly how it went. But I did say, you know, my life is an open book. My security code is the same to everything. And I just blurted it out. So he had my password to everything.
So you thought that was odd?
I thought that was odd. But like she said, we did communicate a lot. And we really kind of hit it off early. Yeah. And all the communication we did, although it was soon, it was like we probably had communicated and learned more about each other, or as much as we would have with normal people talking over 6 months.
Over 6 months. You compressed all of it into a very short period of time.
Exactly.
And you got to know each other. You peeled back the layers early. My understanding is, however, at the end of this first date, when the date was over, you went home and you said, "I miss you like crazy." He did not respond, and you were hurt by that. Why don't you tell me how? Explain that to me.
It was actually about 3 weeks after the first date.
Okay.
I texted him often, and this particular day, I sent lyrics to the song, I Miss You Like Crazy.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to see him again. I was physically attracted to him. As you can see, he's a good-looking man.
Was there a long pause between the first date and when you said, I miss you like crazy, like you had not heard from him?
There were about 3 weeks. I had talked to him every day.
Oh, okay, but you hadn't seen him.
Correct, and I wanted to see him again.
What did you think when you saw I Miss You Like Crazy?
I think I was just a little uncomfortable. I wasn't really ready. The interest was there.
But it wasn't at that level yet.
It wasn't at the level, I just wasn't comfortable at that point.
Right.
That early. I didn't think anything negative about it.
I understand. You just weren't at that level of comfort. I'm with you. I got that.
As soon as I stopped contacting him as much and stopped texting as often, he called for our second in-person date.
Right.
Which went really well. He professed his love for me and said he had felt the same way about me. He was just giving it some time.
Right.
And he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me.
This was on the second date?
This was on the second date.
You know, I like you people. I'm gonna tell you why I like you people. I like you people for a couple of reasons. You're mature black love, and my husband and I consider us mature black love, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I said, but if we don't hurry this story along, we're all gonna be collecting Social Security before we get to the issues. Love you both. But we're going to move forward to the insecurities that you say are making this relationship complicated.
She took the call, and she immediately tried to deceive me. I could tell she was trying not to let me know who she was talking to.
Do you think there was really something inappropriate in her relationship with him that was inconsistent with her having one with you? I want to get to, I think, something that was a critical point in your relationship. We understand that he told you early on that he didn't want you to have any male friends, but you did happen to have a conversation, and I think it has haunted the two of you ever since. Can you tell me what happened?
I accepted a call the day after Alphonso professed his love for me. In accepting that call, I was trying to be discreet. I was trying to be respectful of him, because I did think about the comment he made about not having any male friends. But the phone call was an innocent call from someone who had been a friend to me when I lost my husband 9 months earlier.
Why was he calling you on this particular day?
It was Easter Sunday, and he just called to say Happy Easter and to let me know that his father was in the hospital.
Oh, okay. Now,
and I listened because he had listened.
He had been there for you.
And in the time that I was listening, I could see that Alphonso was growing very uncomfortable, and I ended the call.
Okay.
Well, the phone.
As soon as you could, without being rude. Mr. Dunbar, give me your take on that circumstance where she got a call from a male friend that she had known before you.
We were in the car. She took the call, and she immediately tried to deceive me. I could tell she was trying not to let me know who she was talking to. Now, I knew about this friend. Matter of fact, I think he had called her around our first date. The problem with the phone call was she tried to deceive me. And then her reason was because she thought that I would have a problem with it. She thought that it would make me not trust her.
Why is it appropriate for her to allow him to finish telling her his troubles when his turn came?
It's not. It's not inappropriate. What made it inappropriate was her trying to deceive me. If that was the issue, if he just needed her as a friend, then
she should have been upfront about it.
She should have been upfront about it. My issue wasn't the phone call. My issue was the way she handled the phone call.
Let me ask you this. Do you buy her explanation that she was trying to obscure who it was because she knew about your discomfort with her having male friends, or do you think there was really something inappropriate in her relationship with him that was inconsistent with her having one with you?
At the time, I thought it was the latter. Since it's a year later now, so I don't feel like that anymore.
I gotcha. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna move forward and still find out how that call continued to haunt you, even though, as we now know, it was innocent.
We said we would move in together, and we had some trouble making house a home because we didn't have the financial resources to do that.
Mr. Dunbar, what do you have to say about that circumstance? Did you really lose 40 grand? You say he has a gambling problem. He says it's okay that I gamble because it doesn't impede in any way the financial connection that you have. Why don't you explain to me why you believe he has a gambling problem?
We said we would move in together, and we had some trouble just making house a home because we didn't have the financial resources to do that.
And do you think his gambling was a part of that failure, that the money was gambled away and you no longer had it to put into the household? Is this what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that, but he also knew that I would take care of things and make things happen, and there was no real need to worry about it.
Right.
Because I was going to take care of things.
Yeah.
And I did.
Mr. Dunbar, what do you have to say about that circumstance? Did you really lose 40 grand?
That's not an accurate number, but yes, I did. But
it was a significant amount of money.
It was a significant amount of money, unfortunately.
Oh, that's always unfortunate when you lose a significant amount of money.
But it was mine. I mean, I didn't take it from her.
Right.
And I've done my part. I maintain my responsibilities. So in that respect, I said it didn't affect us.
So at no point did, you guys had made an agreement, we're moving in together and we were each going to contribute, and the fact that you lost that significant amount of money did not preclude you from contributing as you had promised. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Any commitment I made to her, I kept.
You kept.
Regarding finances.
Is that true, Ms. Crosby?
Well, we just got furniture and I had been saying, let's get furniture. We need furniture. We had no furniture. We were living like we're adults. We're professional
Men
adults.
don't care about no furniture. I will say that.
But we have furniture now, and life is so much better. We were just saying last night at our hotel that we miss home because home is now like the home. We're sitting in the living room.
But can I address the furniture issue?
Please.
The furniture issue was only an issue because she would pack and be ready to leave.
No.
Where we live because of her convenience. If I was by myself, I would not live where I'm living. So with her constantly threatening to leave, I'm not furnishing this place.
Why does she threaten to leave all the time?
Just because of issues. I mean,
like what issues?
I could ask her what she's doing for lunch, and she'll immediately assume that I think she's gonna do something inappropriate at lunchtime, and as a response, she starts attacking me.
Here's what I'm gleaning from the conversation. I'm gonna say it myself so we can get to the end of it. You believe that he is very insecure and controlling.
Yes.
And with that one little incident with that phone call, it has bled into his psyche that it now everything that you do is suspect. And that's why you get upset when he asks where you're going. Did I get that kind of right?
Yes, but I don't get upset. I mean, when he asks, I answer. And sometimes he'll just keep repeating.
Have you ever threatened to leave?
Oh, yes.
So tell me what prompted you to threaten to leave?
I have a family member who, and again, he's very rigid about how I define family. Is suffering from an illness that I suffer from.
Okay.
Vertigo. And
suck out as many details as you can.
He contacted, the family member contacted me.
Yeah.
About vertigo.
Right.
Like, what did it feel like? And I was answering him.
Was this a male or a female?
Yes, a male. And he
had a problem with that. Did you have a problem about the conversation about vertigo?
I don't even recall it.
Well, it happened. It's just one of the examples of, if I had said a female name called and I was talking about vertigo, he would have been like, oh yeah, wow. And he would have been engaged.
Gotcha. I'm with you. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and I'm gonna run. I think you are two wonderful people. I think you are intelligent. I think you are mature. I think you are classy. I think you are a very good, well-matched couple of people. Just love you. Don't get that often in here. Love to see it. I think you have one small hiccup that is causing the lumpy, rumpy, bumpy, and I'm going to try to express it. Now, Mr. Dunbar, you're not going to agree with me, and I want you to understand that I see what you see, and what I'm telling you is limiting your vision as you do is what's upsetting her. I'm trying to let you see what's upsetting her so we can have this I'm leaving stuff stop. You with me?
Yes.
And what I'm talking about is rigidity. Is that some people have a very singular and linear thought pattern that doesn't allow for a little bit over here and a little bit over there. Everything is all yes or all no, all black and all white. I know you got over the phone call. I get that. She's shown that she trusts you and that you've gotten over the phone call. I get all of that part. What she's saying is you come across to her as nonetheless rigid. She feels like she doesn't have the flexibility to talk to a male person about vertigo. She feels like she has to watch everything she does and says and who she says it with because she's concerned about your response. Now, either one of two things are happening. You do respond in a very rigid fashion that precludes her from having any kind of contact with the opposite sex, or you are misconstruing his question based upon his past action as an insecurity as opposed to simply an inquiry. One of those two things maybe. Women need to be heard. Women don't need to be instructed. Women need to be able to tell you what's on their mind, and we're gonna meander just a little bit. We're gonna start over here. We might end up over there, and everything won't be directly in the line that you want, but you gotta lay back and be comfortable and hear us through, because we might end up right where you want us to be.
Understand.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
I think you're a fabulous couple. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a book called Making Marriage Work. You know why? I got a whole chapter in here on how women speak and on how men speak and how it's different and how you can bridge the hormonal divide while having a conversation. I think you would both benefit from that because I think you're fabulous people and I hope you stay together forever. You guys take care. This matter is adjourned. Thank you.
Alphonso comes across very rigid, but he can be very compassionate and loving and caring. He is the man of my dreams. I love him very much, and I'd like to spend the rest of my life with him.
I have no issues with her. I don't have any issues with a lack of trust or anything. I'm confident and I love her, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her.